Mew here, and we have another interesting top 10. Now, I'm not the biggest of sports fans, but I do have some sports that I do enjoy and stuff. So, here we go. Number 10 on the list is swimming. It's a nice sort of like easy exercise sort of thing, and it involves being in the water and stuff, and learning to swim can be very helpful later on in life and stuff, and it's good nice sort of skill to know as a thing, because most of the world, like about 70% of it, or maybe more, I'm not too sure about the actual thing, but most of the world is covered in water, so swimming is a very good sort of thing to know, which is why it's number 10 on the list. Number 9, we have horse riding. Now, when I was a kid, I actually did a little bit of horse riding, and it was fun. It's like you can make yourself feel like a cowboy in the sense of things, but also in a sense of matter, it's also a nice sort of fun, cruisy thing when you're wearing your helmet and stuff, and you're just riding along and having a little bit of fun, sort of thing. You also get to bond with a horse, sort of thing. So, yeah, so that's a nice little thing you get to thing, which is why that's number 9 on my list. Number 8, we have hiking, which is basically a fancy way of saying walking places in my books. But, anyways, we also have like the hiking in the sense of like going like up into the mountains and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's sort of like on sort of trails and stuff, like hiking up volcanoes, hiking up mountains, hiking along tracks, sort of thing. Nice little bit of walking, sort of thing. Some people, yeah, some people hiking is climbing and stuff as well, but yeah. But that's another reason why that's number 8 on my list. We now come to number 7, which is 10-pin bowling. It's not the most sort of traditional thing you'd think of like as a sport, but it's still a sport nonetheless. And it's a very interesting one. It just involves a bowling ball, involves 10 pins, and the goal of it is to knock out all the pins, and you get 10 sort of like rungs sort of thing, and the most points you can get is 300. I've never managed to get that high, but it was a nice little fun thing I picked up while I was in high school years. I was doing the little 10-pin bowling thing at school, which was the only one that really stuck to the team and got the trophy in the year following. Yeah, I digress for that one, but it's a nice little fun chill sport as well. And I know it can get quite competitive, as I know a friend of mine that actually gets quite into it as well. So yeah, that's why it's number 7 on my list. We now have number 6, cycling. Everyone knows what a bicycle sort of is. 2 wheels, handlebars. Basically, you can pretty much ride anywhere you want, sort of thing, with these things. Yeah, within limits, sort of thing. And that's one thing that cycling is good for. It's a very good exercise as well. Yeah, you sort of like go along a track or go sort of like ride to or from work or something if you see fit, sort of thing. Some people will. And yeah, like I said, great sort of aspect for exercise, which is another reason why it's number 6 on the list. Number 5 is tennis. I'm not that good at it, but it is an interesting sort of game. Basically, it's got a racket, it's got a tennis ball. There's also a table tennis version, which is more of a like fun version, but either way, you're supposed to hit this ball over the net and try and get it down on the opponent's side. And yeah, it's just a nice, interesting game. Fun to watch, fun to attempt to play and stuff, which is why it's number 5 on the list. Number 4, we have basketball. Now, there's many a reason why number 4 is basketball. I did grow up sort of playing a lot of it with my friends and stuff like that. Yeah. Also, there's, like, I've met a basketball team. I think it was Breakers sort of thing when I was younger sort of thing. And also, I've also had friends who have actually been on basketball teams and stuff. And yeah, fun little fact, there's also basketball cards somewhere out in this world sort of thing. And it's an interesting little collectible, but that's only a little side note. But yeah, basketball is basically just dribbling a ball, trying to shoot it in the hoop. Yeah. Very good bit of exercise, sort of good sport sort of thing. Fun to watch sort of thing. Which is why it's number 4 on the list. Number 3, we have cricket. Now, I won't play this as much myself, but it's more of a like watching game. Can be slow sometimes. I know that there is sort of like cricket sets that can take days to actually play out, but the traditional concept of the game is actual pretty interesting. Basically got the bat, got the ball, get pitched it sort of thing, try and prevent them from hitting the wickets sort of thing, and get as many runs as you can for your team sort of thing. Yeah, without getting out. That's an interesting reason why it's in number 3. We now have number 2, which is archery. This involves using a bow and arrow to aim at a target, whether it's an indoor one or an outdoor one. Yeah, basically it's firing an arrow at the target. And my dad's taken this one up as a hobby, and it's a very interesting thing to watch. Yeah, that's why I've put it as number 2 on my list. However, number 1 has a different name depending on where you are in the world. In some places, it's called football. In other places, it's called soccer. But the generic rules of this thing is we are kicking the ball around, and the plan is to get it into the opposing team's goal. Yeah. And the reason why it's called football in that matter is we're only allowed to use the feet. The only person who's allowed to use the hands, I think, is the goalie to actually block the goal. But yeah, traditionally, it's more of the foot sport, and it's one sport that I really enjoy sort of like playing for fun sort of thing. And yeah, it's like in the schoolyard, you're just kicking around the ball sort of thing. Even if you haven't got the goal set up, just passing it to your mates and stuff. Just a lot of fun. Which is why I've put that as number 1 on my list. Anyways, you guys might have a different favourite sport, so feel free to put that in the comments. Until next time, Mew is signing out.